Okay, hi everybody. I thought I would do a little update on where I'm up with my book. I did finish my June and I thought as far as the rest of the book goes, it is a bit bright and I thought maybe I'll tone it down or maybe I'll make another one to go in here. But as you'll see, I started to make another one to go in here and it's ended up being on that blank page that I had there. So I have now sewn everything so they're pages. So where I'm up to with this is I ended up making this extra page and it's really big. So I've ended up going right outside and I think I haven't sewn it down here, but I didn't want to cut it because then there'd be loose threads. So I decided to leave it as a super large page and I've just pinned it because I haven't put it down because I think I'm going to put a bit of lace down here. So I'll do that in this episode. I can't remember what part I'm up to. So all these are now sewn together like a proper book. So where I'm up to with this page is sewing on this panel and I'm using this old, I've shown it before, pearl cotton size 12. I've used this for most of my background sewing on. It doesn't show up too much, it blends in quite nicely. Looks like it's actually part of the stitching. Obviously with this one it's showing, but it's part of the authenticity of this backing to have the lines through it, I think. So all I'm doing is stitching through both sides. And I've already stitched down the middle and the bottom. I just wanted to show you coming around to the edge where the tag is. So what I'm making sure I'm doing is getting this. Now remember there was this little tuck bit. What I've done is taken this, I had two more of these and I wasn't sure how I was going to do it. I've taken one, tucked it in and folded this edge from that one in there over the top of it, and now I'm just sewing them all together. Now that's securing all of them down and making sure that this little folded bit is definitely tucked inside. I'm coming back here. Now, generally, most of my pages you can see a little bit of the under part that I've sewn them down onto. I don't mind that because for me there's a memory of what I used for the backing, and I used one of Huss's old shirts, as usual, for my base material. So this was one of his white driving shirts. So there you go. So there's always memories and history in this. It's really great. So yeah, it was a really big decision. I thought this is so bright and colourful compared to the rest that maybe I thought possibly I might paint it again over the top with a very a wash, like a white gesso wash to tone it down, or I thought I could maybe make a coffee stain or a tea stain to put on it. In the end I've put it in because that was what I made. Yes, it's a bit out of whack with the rest of the book. Everything's very antique-y and a bit more toned down with the colours. But this is what I made, this is what I was thinking on the day, this is how it came out, and so that's what's going in. Okay, so when we come to the tag, my tag is actually already inside, so it's behind this panel and there inside the shirt material is the backing, and I'm just going to keep going through here. It's a lot thicker here. On this side it's not showing as any more than the workings of my piece. This one's the hard one to get through because there's way too many layers. Get the trusty pliers again, always. Okay, so I've just cast that off and I'll show you. So this is my May and June. I'm still not sure about this spot, but what I do know is I might also put a bit of material here. Look, you know, this one maybe because it comes in like that and there's quite a big gap, but here I actually do like seeing the workings of the sewing of the page and the back stitching. All right, I'm just going to use these coloured ones to mark that, to know I've got to do something here. I still have to do something here, but I'll just leave that for now. All right, so I'm happy with this. Happy with the edge and the top and the bottom. Top and bottom's fine, it's just that one. Happy with this, top, bottom, sides, fine. Right here. Right, so this is the new page I made because this page was blank. So I think I still would like something in here. So they're just my little markers. I've got to do a bit of lace here. Possibly put something in the middle of that, not sure. I did already fill that one up. Don't know about that, it's looking a bit wonky there. That's okay. And I already did put this beautiful bit of lace here. And then I've got my front page, and I'm happy with that. Another thing I was thinking about, what Sarah was talking about, and I also think it's a good idea of some sort of like an index saying what each of the challenges were. And I've been thinking about covering over here with either a printout on material. This was a printout onto canvas. Probably a bit lazy, I probably should have stitched it, but similar to that, putting a thing here, I may actually just print it out onto canvas again like that. It's still a material, it's just a thicker, harder material without any stitching on it. Got my little tin of laces and things here. That's too not thick enough, so I want a relatively thick, too thick. No. What about this one? That's probably, I could cut that down. I could probably put that along and cut that edge off. That would work, wouldn't it? I like that. What else have I got in here? I love this, but it's stretchy. It's not quite wide enough. That's way too thin. Oh, there you go. I think I'd rather put something that fits there than cut something down. I like that. Right, let's pin it. Now, take those pins off. I don't like those old pins, they're a bit rusty. These are newer. That's good, love it. Now, I think once again I might like to just use a neutral because I don't want it to detract from all of these stitches. And the method, coming in on the inside of any of the material. So this has got a nice little fold to come in. So that'll hide the knot in there. Now, I think there's a number of ways to do this. I mean, you could just go straight up and down. I think what I might do is go in and out and across. Get a good grip on that. Maybe every second one. As long as it's getting a good grip through. I'm just getting the backing of that new panel I've just added, I think. And definitely always getting this edge so that the page is closed. I think I've said it before that this cottony stuff is a bit annoying to work with sometimes. It's not like a silk. Definitely trying to, I can feel it on the back of my fingers when I know I've actually come through the other side of the material too far. So I'm trying not to do that. And also, I just want to check, I did sew the bottom. Did I sew the top? Yep, I have joined it. Okay, it's just putting this on to pad that out. Oh my goodness. I don't know why I love using it so much. It can be just a bit temperamental. Okay, so this is still, I'm going to get this edge down, and this still, I'm still deciding, am I leaving it loose or not? Now, let me look on this side. All right, so it's coming through here, and that's what it'll do all the way down, but because I've got this, it's a slightly, very, very pale green. It's really pale grey green, but this isn't, you know, it's not standing out as obvious, so I'm going to go through all the way through to really secure that edge down. Let's have a look how it's looking. Yeah, it's not, it's just part of the design really. And then I'm going to decide whether or not I'm putting those daisies down secured or not. See how they sit. They're looking a bit, they're okay like that. I love it. It's a great little edge because it's kind of, because this page was a lot bigger, it's actually kind of covering the little tabs, which I don't mind. I love this. I love the fact that it's handmade and it's your own thing, and that we have this whole idea of not knowing exactly how it's going to look. We don't we couldn't possibly pre-organise how it would look, because really we didn't know what was coming out of the draw, did we? Okay, now I really want to leave it sort of flapping. Yes, I do. I love it. I just don't know if I want the back workings of a page to show. Oh, I just had an idea. What if something goes under there? I think that'd be too much. This is going to be too distracting. I was just thinking maybe I'd have to iron it, I think. Something like some sari silk under to cover that. Oh yes, I think I could manage that. Alright, so I'll have to start at this end. I think I'll leave it creased because it's delicious. Love it. That's going to stick out just a little bit on some bits, but it just adds a little bit of a block of colour behind those daisies. Really like that. Now I can cut it off here. And I've got the option if I want, just pin that in a bit better. Of maybe putting some of it along the bottom here too. Now, do I want to do that while I'm here? All right, I'll come back and do that if that's appropriate. So, I've just finished off down here. Now, I know I'm not really looking at how the back looks, so this edge has got, you can see a bit of sari silk. You've got the edge of this, which was a bit of seam off a bit of the top that didn't quite work when I got it home from the op shop and was only a couple of bucks, so it didn't matter. And you'll just get a couple of these extra little lines with the seam, so no problems. Don't mind it at all. And this will just secure it down. Stop them flapping about a bit. Now I'm excited to start the next project because I've already been getting my cover done. So if you haven't been watching episode Thread Thursday, just trying to think, I've pre-recorded this Thursdays. I think it will be episode 30 and 31 will have the cover of the next book pre-recorded, unless I started at 29. I'm not sure. I'll put it down below. Yeah, possibly I started at 29, but definitely the cover, this Thursday I've finished the cover for the next book on my Thread Thursdays, and then it'll switch over to being whatever the next tag for Roxy's journal will be. And I'll got freshly inspired to do my Thread Thursdays again. I want to finish that stitch wheel. I've been doing it for a year. So hopefully I'll finish that this year. Alright, that's a bit better now that it's settling and stitched down. I think it's getting a bit hard because I'm going through the seam on the back. Right, let me take the pin out the way. Just trying to go through the top and the bottom petal of this flower, plus get the sari silk in down in all its folded and ruffled glory. Isn't it great? You just rifle through your little tin of bits and pieces and find all kinds of things in there that just work for the one little spot that you need them to be. Now, casting this off somewhere in the middle there. Pull that through. It's just secured inside. Right, let me look. Sari silk can easily go. I think maybe it just actually detracts away from the page. So maybe let's have a look. I think it would have to be fairly neutral, so I don't know if I want to detract from this page at all. Oh dear, I'm going to get these bits of turkey work coming out. I don't remember doing any basket work on any of my things. Did the turkey work, the lazy daisy. It's good to have a look through actually and see what I didn't do. So I don't remember doing that. I didn't do any of the woven roses. I'm pretty sure I've done most of the other things. Let's have a look. Bullions, satin, a bit more. It's like a turkey work but made into a flower. So I've got to put something down here. That might work through there. French knots, colonial knots were through here. I think there's still a fair bit that I didn't quite do from our initial idea. I've got all the little crosses and straight stitch and running stitch and bullion knots and French knots or colonial. I think those ones might have been colonial knots. Well, there you go. Just goes to show you forget what you're actually trying to put in your sampler. Blanket stitch. Did I use blanket stitch? Yeah, there's chain stitch. No. Don't even know if I got any blanket stitch in. So there you go. We're really interesting to see what we remember and don't remember. I did definitely get some buttons. Maybe on this piece I'll put one or two of the things I forgot. Mainly it's down here, these last ones. I don't remember doing any couching on anything either. Wow, interesting. This one looks a bit bare and a bit lazy. Maybe I was in a hurry. March to June, that's March to April, so that was when I was going away, so I probably hurried that one. I love this one. It's one of my favourites. So I've still got a bit to go. So Lily's just about to leave. She's stayed here for a night or two. So I'm going to look at this and come back. Right, I'm just coming back for one last little bit. And I think I'll do the rest in another video. So I found this little bit. So this part that was coming out here, I'm going to sew this in here. Now, one of the things about this is that on the back, actually I don't know if I'll do it. I might stop it there. Let's do that. It's beautiful, isn't it? I might add that to something else. The thing I was going to say about the back of this is I still don't know about this or this, so I will do another video to complete the book. And I realised I hadn't stuck this in either because I was waiting to do a bit more and to decide what I was doing, whether I was tucking that in, whether I was just gluing it all down. That's another story. So just for now, I'm just going to get this little bit in. I'm not too fussed about coming through here. Some of these bits are the fiddly bits. A little bit more difficult to come in and secure them. It's almost just like a tacking stitch. However, I can embellish it a bit if I like. It is holding it down and it is filling up that slightly ugly gap that was there. Now I'm just going to continue through with a little bit of sari silk here. Just for that little edge. Now, I'm not minding doing a larger stitch here because I'm thinking what I'm going to do is embellish that a bit too. So it's keeping the sari silk a bit ruffled, which I like. And now I'm going to come down through this side. Through some of these just to secure that a bit better in the spine there. So it's almost like you should probably think about doing these in inner pages where the spine is, so they're really close. But once again, like I say, it is a bit of art, it is a bit of crafting, it's your work, and it's not really, look, I don't know about anyone else, but I don't really like the idea of it being absolutely perfect. I like to see the stitches, I like the rough edges. So I guess the point is that if you're prepared to put up with having to do a little bit of this more tricky sewing in the middle, if you have a gap, then that's all good. I feel like that's a bit more secure down in the spine now that I've done that. And there's still a little bit showing in here, but that is okay. And now I can come back. I'm just going to grab a little bit of the top layer to put this one down, this edge. So I don't need to go all the way through to the other side. Help through that bit. Now that I've got that down, I can cast this up through here. And I'm just going to do a little bit more of this pulling it in stitch that ruffles it on the sari silk. Cast off and back in behind the work. Right, so that's another little bit finished. Right, so I have got this pin. Love that. I've got this bit. I was going to leave this because I actually like the way that stitching's through there. So I've got this bit to do next time. I've got to embellish a few more things on here, so I might look at using the stitches that I haven't used. And I've just got to work out what's happening here. I've got this sewn here, so it's only one stitch. Oh, that's from here. I've just done that then. So I don't necessarily need to have that there. Made a hole. Doing things on the fly. Now I'm happier with that like that. I can put some bit of lace or something there for next time. I can come up with something for this back page. And there you have it. It's nearly finished. It's amazing. Looking forward to the next one. It's really great projects. And I think I'll also add what I was talking about on that one. So that'll be the next time. So there we go. There's our book so far. And of course, I've got my little cover, which we were looking at whether or not once it's full it's going to not slip on over the top, whether it's going to work or not, but it's still working. Doesn't need to be elasticized either because it's just actually still got plenty of room for it. Oh, there you go. All right, well, stop waffling on, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this coming to the end of this Roxy's Journal of Stitchery, part 1, or mark 1, I guess. I don't know what the next one's going to be called because we haven't heard yet. Bye for now. Take care.